Hello you guys, I hope you guys are all having a beautiful day. My name is Lorena Aguirre and I post here on my YouTube channel every Monday and Saturday. So if that's something that you are interested, please be sure to like and comment and subscribe because we have a ton of videos that are coming out for you guys and we are going to have a fun content-filled month. So make sure to stay tuned because in a couple months I am going to be doing something really cool for you guys. But let's go ahead and start talking about what we are doing in this video because I know that's what you guys are all here for. But right now we are just gonna go ahead and prep my client. She did rip off her last set, so her nails were a little bit fragile, so I was definitely making sure, being very careful. But the sanding band that we are using, this is actually from Creations, and the little bit that I'm using is actually from Kiara Sky. This one's really great because it is, for one, the packaging of it is so pretty, and two, it is so easy to remove the sanding bands from the barrel. So I highly recommend one of these. You guys could also get these from Koopa as well. I have one from the past. Next we're gonna get these effortless tapered square tips. These are an extra long, so these are something that I definitely recommend too because it helps minimize shaping. You don't have to go super crazy with your file and it actually helps you save so much time. And then we are just going to go ahead and glue them down. I like using a brush glue just because my glue actually lasts a lot longer than if I were to use the stick glues. Just because I feel like I have it upright in my desk the whole entire time. And it is a lot neater when applying it. It doesn't dry out as fast. I've had this glue for months now and it's still going strong. But something that I recommend when you guys are placing these tips is making sure that you press down the sides, and it really helps making sure that you are gluing everything down and that there is no gaps where there's no glue in there. And then next I am getting these files. These were actually recommended to me by, her name is Nailed by Samantha. She is on Instagram and she had recommended me these files because I feel like her shape is always A1. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna ask her what tips that she could give me, and this file was actually one that she had recommended me. Her nails are beautiful, so definitely recommend checking her out. If you guys would like, I'll go ahead and comment her page down below. But next I'm going to go ahead and get this drill bit. I was using this bit in hopes of trying it out and maybe liking it for blending my tips. In all honesty, this is something that I would not recommend. I did not like using this at all. You guys could see I'm going in there with my fingers and I'm trying to like remove that little bit of the tip that is like lifted up. But honestly, I would recommend just using an arbor sanding band, and that gets the job done just as well, if not better, or way better than this actually, just because I feel like this, if you are new to using the drill, you guys could actually end up going a little bit too deep with it if you're not careful. So definitely recommend the sanding band instead. And then I'm just going to go ahead and file the sides as usual. I like to blend with the drill and I also like to blend with the hand file. As of right now, that technique, I feel like I have been doing that and I really enjoy doing that because it really helps make sure that there is no plastic tip poking out through the side of the colored acrylic once you are done filing, and everything just blends beautifully and I really love that. I do want to mention that when I had started using colored acrylic, it was definitely a lot of trial and error, and that was one of my biggest pet peeves, is blending the tips. So if you guys are doing that, make sure that you are blending the tips. Something that I do want to mention, in the past clips, we did dehydrate. The dehydrator that we did use was from OPI, and I did 2 coats, and then I am doing 2 coats of the Protein Bond from Young Nails. This concoction together is so amazing. I love it. It really, really helps ensure that your nails are going to stay on and they're not going anywhere. So if you do have problems with lifting, highly recommend that. So I do want to show you guys, this is the newest collection from Montage. The whole little pack of those, they retail for $25, I believe. And you guys could use my code to get an additional 10% off of any of their stuff in store. The only thing that I don't believe that you're able to use my code for is the Kiara Sky lamps inside of their store and their drills, but everything else that is Montage, you guys are able to use it. The brush that I am using is a Mia Secret brush. This brush I had forever, you guys, and I love this brush. It is my OG brush. I've had it ever since I first started, and I know it's time for a new brush because my barrel is looking all types of crazy, but one that I am thinking of getting, and today they are actually on sale. They're 20% off on Kiara Sky, but that's the only thing I want to get from their thing. So I wish I would have gotten it when I got my lamp, just because I would have saved on shipping. But so I'm debating whether or not I should get it or not. Everyone that I talk to that they use it, they love it. So definitely recommend checking their stuff out, because everybody says that brush is truly, truly, truly amazing. So can't wait to get my hands on that. Hopefully I'll be able to, and maybe if I'm able to get free shipping. But yeah, so another thing that I'm doing is putting a clear bead of acrylic. I'm capping all of them in there, so I don't end up using so much pigment, just because the pigments are more expensive than the clear acrylics. So I did want to make sure I am just doing enough to color the nails. Next, I am using this Not Polish colored acrylic. This one, it is a very, very light pink that has some iridescent shimmers in it. And you guys, this is a must in your nude collections. I feel like your guys' clients will truly love this. I feel like this will go good with sets that are like you want to bling out. I feel like this would look absolutely beautiful with that type of set. guys, I am so happy that I have been able to try out this product because honestly, Montage's acrylics are actually very easy to use. They don't stick to your brush, and that's something that I have noticed with some other acrylics. So I do want to do a review on some of my acrylics that I have gotten and my review for them, and with the different monomers that I have used with them, because some of the colored acrylics that I have gotten honestly stick to the brush so bad. So I do really want to do a whole collection review of my collection, just so then I am able to show you guys what I think, what are my thoughts, and I'd love to hear you guys' feedback in the comments down below, just because I feel like it kind of gives everybody like a sense of direction of what products they should be getting or trying out, and what will make their jobs easy. So this one right here, this nail right here, I am going to be doing an ombre, and I am just going to go ahead and making sure that right here I am blending this bead very thin, and you guys could see I am using the belly of my brush, and I am just patting and then dragging that bead a little bit as I am patting, so it ends up blending all the way down to the edge of the nails. I have been using this method for doing ombres, and I could say that this one, it is a really good method to use, making sure that is very thin. I know some people that they will blend their bead that is at the base, or at like their first bead that they'll place, they blend it a ton, but I feel like with me, I don't find it necessary for myself to be doing that unless it is going to be showing through at the bottom. If you're going to be able to see that ombre all the way at the bottom of the nail because it is a clear tip, then I definitely recommend blending that bead. But since I start the bead kind of high, I don't feel like it is necessary for me. And then now I'm getting Desert Rose. This is from Montage as well. And when I am doing my ombres, I like to get a very small bead of acrylic and blend it down, and kind of get an idea of where I want to start the blend. And then I will pick up a bigger one if needed, and then just start to pat it, and then start to drag it down like I am doing right here in this clip. And then I like to go back up to the cuticle and just kind of blend. And after I am done doing this ombre, I always cap this in clear acrylic. Before, in the past, being a beginner nail tech, I didn't ever think I had to cap anything, so I would end up just filing, and then next thing you know, my blend for my ombre was no longer there, and it ended up looking patchy and it didn't look right. If that is you, definitely recommend capping it. What capping means is to put a clear bead of acrylic on it over your design, because it helps, like once you are filing, to give it that little bit of room without having to dig your file into your design. But here I'm getting that glittered one from Not Polished, patting that into place, and then I'm going to go ahead and get that neon pink and putting that in the center after I am done blending this bead. Sliding my brush across the sides to make sure I keep a nice and clean layout, just because I want to do the least amount of filing as possible. So I have been really trying to make sure I am laying my acrylic very nicely, so I don't have to go in and file a ton. Then next I'm getting Desert Rose, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pat that bead in. And I wanted to do it with a small bead and then work my way up. So you'll end up seeing that this bead is mostly for the colored, or for the cuticle area. And then I am just going to go ahead and push it to the cuticle and then drag it down. I am not going to drag it before I push it up to the cuticle. And then I am just going to go ahead and clean up where it is needed, and then if I need to add a little bit more in certain areas, I'm going to go ahead and do so. And now I'm just going to go ahead and get a clear bead of acrylic and then put it over this entire look, making sure the parts that I'm mainly focusing in on are definitely the part where everything is blending. So you don't need to really worry too much about having it high up on the cuticle because there is no blending going on right there. It's more of a solid area. So where you want to focus on putting that clear acrylic is anywhere from its blended down. And you guys could see, even though I did end up capping it, the nails aren't super thick. Alright, you guys, now that I am done with putting them on, I am getting this bit. This bit is actually from Kiara Sky, and this had came with my drill, and I love this bit. I feel like this is great for going underneath the nail tips, because I don't know if you guys noticed, but a lot of times with using tips, I feel like they end up angling downward, and it makes it look like almost like a hook nail to me. So I really don't like the way that looks. I really like the nails to look very, very straight. And with that being said, I take this bit and I run it under the bottoms of it. I find that this actually helps me save time as well instead of using a hand file, because I feel like using a hand file, it will actually end up making me having to keep on filing and filing. And with this, it takes off a ton of product at once. And you guys could see that thumbnail, how it kind of angles downwards, and this helps it kind of just end up making it look very, very straight and perfect. I love the way this looks. And if you guys need to, you guys could go in around the cuticle area with this bit as well. I am more of a type of person that really enjoys using the sanding band around the cuticle, so I typically don't use these kind of bits, but it does seem like it has kind of a little bit of a safety bit on it, so you don't really have to worry about cutting your client's cuticle. And then just going up and down, and then filing. Something that I had seen on TikTok that has been helping me lately is that you want to make sure both of the sides of the nails, if you guys are doing like more of a square look, making sure that they are parallel and making sure that, so basically what I'll do, sorry you guys, I'm trying to like explain it in the best way possible for you guys. So basically what you want to do is making sure that both of the sides are parallel. And then once they are parallel, you're going to want to make sure that basically the edge of the nail, you end up making it a right angle to both of them. And so that's like the best visual that I'm able to get. So I like to do the sides first, and then I like to start from underneath the nail and kind of going up towards the side. And this helps making sure that everything is straight and not by up on the nail bed, that area, because I feel like that area could tend to bump, like kind of round out more up there. So I definitely recommend doing this to make sure that it is straight all the way from the top of the nail down. Another thing that I did want to mention is that these colored acrylics, they are actually glow in the dark, so they look really, really cool in the dark. I'm going to go ahead and insert some pictures so you guys could take a look at what they look like. Alright, so after I am done, I ended up having her wash her hands, but I forgot to actually buff. So I ended up having to buff and then apply swipe over all of them, which swipe is what I have been using already. But since there wasn't a ton of thick dust, I didn't end up having her go to the restroom and wash again. And right here you guys can see I'm getting that medium sanding band. And then just going in and going around the cuticle, making sure that I am blending everything into the rest of the nail, making sure that there is no bulk by the cuticle. And this will help actually seal the cuticle. And then this is a buffer that I was using to buff the nails as well. And then applying swipe to both of those nails as well, making sure I'm getting off all that dust. The swipe really helps ensure that I am getting all the dust, and it helps making sure that my top coat doesn't lay super crazy. Because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, if after you guys put a top coat on and it just kind of wants to separate and there is little craters inside of the top coat, it's probably because of the oils of the soap and things like that. So definitely recommend using swipe or just buffing, and right after buffing, applying your top coat. The ones that I am using right here in this clip, they are from Koopa, the both of them. I'll have these linked down below as well. These are, right now, these are definitely my go-to. I've been using these for quite some time now. My gloss top coat is definitely out and I need to get more. The matte top coat I still have a good amount of. I usually stock up on the matte one because I feel like before I would tend to go through matte so much. But now I am more of a glossy girl, but today is an exception where I am doing both. I did glossy on this one right here, and then I did glossy on the glittered ones as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and cure that for 60 seconds. You guys could get away with 30 seconds, but I just do 60 just to be on the safe side. And then doing the glossy top coat on that pinky. And then I will also be doing glossy on the middle finger as well, and then matte on the rest. And right here, you guys, I ended up coming across some dust that was stuck in the cuticle area. So I'm just going to go ahead and scrape that out with my little cuticle pusher, or if you guys have one of those little brushes that go on your drill. I have yet to try one of those, but that is something that I am looking forward to getting. Let me know if you guys tried that and you guys would recommend that, because you guys know I'm always down to try all things nails. But you guys, look how beautiful the matte looks on these. I love the way they look, and even the gloss as well. Even though I ended up applying gloss to that glitter finger, I ended up actually changing my mind. I ended up changing my mind and wanting to do like a snakeskin print. So I ended up, right here, this is where I was going to do some type of design using my dotting tool. But I ended up completely changing my mind, and I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and go in with the blooming gel from Not Polish and paint that all the way down the nail, and we'll do our design on top. Something that I do want to mention is make sure you actually let this product bloom. And this nail right here, I don't know why I feel like I got so anxious. I ended up putting it into the light as soon as I was done, but I feel like if I allowed it to bloom just a little bit more, I feel like the nail would have, the look of it would have looked so much nicer. So definitely recommend letting it bloom more. So you guys will see in one hand that I didn't actually let it bloom, and then just because I didn't want to be able to show you guys how it would look if you don't let it bloom all the way. And so when you guys are using the blooming gel, Basically, you're just going to want to paint it on and go with the design right over it. If you guys don't end up doing the design right over it and you cure it first, there's no blooming action that's going to end up happening. Everything is just going to end up staying in one place. And this doesn't have to be perfect. The more messy you are with it, I feel like the better it actually comes out. Something that I like to go back and do is actually pop the bubbles, because if you guys have used this before, you guys might notice that adding such a thick layer of gel, you guys might end up having bubbles in it. And this one I felt like because there was so much gel on it, it started to lose its shape. So I wanted just to go in and file that just a little bit so it still kept its shape. And then I'm wiping it down with Swipe just because I didn't want any of that dust to stay in the design. And then going over it with some white if there is any bubbles in there that I wasn't able to get rid of. I just like to go in and cover up those little dots because they look like little black pieces of glitter on it. So I just want to make sure I'm very thorough with it, making sure that it is flawless. And yeah. Then I am just going to go ahead and top it off with some glossy top coat from Pupa. I did end up applying some stones after I was done with this, but I didn't end up doing it on camera. But I do want to mention the resin that I did use is from Montage Nail Supplies, and that is my holy grail go-to resin. I love that stuff. Again, if you guys recommend something, make sure to comment down below. But as for me, Montage is definitely my go-to when it comes to applying any types of charms or any crystals or anything like that. Alright you guys, and this is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed creating this look with me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on it, and if you guys do end up replicating this set in any type of way, please be sure to tag me. I will definitely feature you guys on my Instagram. So yeah, so definitely tag me. I love reposting your guys' work and the inspo that I give you guys. So you guys can kind of see the color a little bit better right here, but still is not doing the color justice. The color is so much more beautiful in real life, even though the camera's still capturing it so nicely. But it also glows in the dark, and it glows like this beautiful purple color. But yeah, you guys, please, if you guys aren't subscribed already, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, because it does help with the YouTube algorithm, and it does help my video get out there more. And yes, so don't forget to have a beautiful day, and thank you so much.